item that jumped out to me even more. Somebody wrote into Jerry, what do you make of the reports that Diontae Johnson expects $15 million plus per year, and is he worth it? The on-off struggle with drops, for me, say no. Jerry says they'll pay Juju before they pay Diontae Johnson.
Pretty interesting to me.
That is, I'll be honest, I think that's crazy.
Well, I would pay Juju. I have no problem paying Juju to do what he does. But if Cooper Kupp makes $15 million a year. Right now. So there's two different – I don't want to conflate two things. I think there's two different things. Well, one is paying Diontae Johnson $15 million a year, and the other is paying Juju. Like, Mike Evans makes $16 million a year.
Right.
You can't pay Diontae Johnson $15.
You cannot. But I don't think saying that –
Devontae Adams makes $14.5.
Right. I don't think saying that it's crazy to prioritize Juju over Diontae Johnson means you got to pay him $15 million either, though. Like, I have no problem with bringing Juju back, especially because of their lack of depth all of a sudden at the wide receiver position, on a very team-friendly one-year prove-it deal again, right?
Right.
Much like the one he signed last year. What it ended up being, like $5 million?
Right.
I mean, yeah, by all means.
No, Juju?
Yeah.
8, I believe.
8 total, but okay, yeah, the way it broke down contractually, yes. I guess. Point still remains. I'm not paying a ton for Juju to come back for 1 year. And I'm not giving Diontae Johnson number one wide receiver money either. But I think I'd also, if you give me that theoretical, Juju or Diontae Johnson, I mean, if I got to make that choice.
Yes, but not at 15, considering Tyreek Hill makes like 17.8 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, again, I'm not giving Diontae Johnson $15 million.
And if he wants $15 million, I say, go get it. Have fun.
Right.
Who's doing that? You know, are people really going to pay him Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin numbers? Because that's what 15 is.
That's it. He can expect that. He's not. Who's going to give him that? I guess is my next question to feed off. Like, if you let him explore the market next year, and make no doubt about it, I think
the cap is going up, but nonetheless, I don't think it's going up proportionately like that.
And I don't think people are going to start giving guys who are clearly not number one wide receivers money, which is what $15 million a year is right now.
I would give, with the cap going up, I'd give Juju 9 or 10.
See, I don't think I'd go any greater than what he got last year.
Here's why. I have no idea what Claypool is.
They don't either, I don't think.
Right, and I think Claypool could help them moving Claypool into the slot some, doing some things like that. I don't know, one, if he's going to want to. Two, how he's going to react. I do know if Juju moves into the slot, he can be very productive.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, I would be on your side and say, okay, Juju hit the bricks, hit the road. Thank you for your services. You'd been great. If Claypool would have taken a next step, yes.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just have a hard time paying somebody as much as they made last year when it was another year, and I understand he was hurt, but another year of like a receiving average that looks like somebody's rushing average. It's like 5 yards a catch or something like that. That I can't. But back to the original point, if I had to choose between the two, unfortunately, drops included, I'd probably end up leaning towards Diontae Johnson. I'm not giving him $15 million a year. By the way, how did we get to this point where we're talking about the lack of talent all of a sudden in the Steelers wide receiver room? I know we brought it up a couple times, but that just astounds me that all of a sudden we've gone from arguably the most talented wide receiver room in the league, 4 or 5 years ago?
Right.
To here we are, it's Claypool, who they didn't do anything to develop this year. It's Diontae Johnson, whose drops he's returned at the end of the year. It's Juju, who has an average better than, 8, 9 yards a catch in 3 years.
You know, we have this conversation. I always think of what Martavis Bryant would be right now. I know. And there's what a knucklehead.
What a
you
waste.
Talk about wasting a chance at having the world by the cojones. That guy did it. Mm-hmm. He should be standing there atop all of this right now.
And it all started because he got mad that somebody else got drafted.
Right.
Come on. Go out and beat the dude on the field and keep your job. If he does that, if he just puts his head down and goes to work, we're talking about a completely different story.
It will be interesting to see, though, how all the wide receiver salaries shift this year with the cap going up. Mm-hmm. Like how things go up and how things shift and the average per year and how it jumps. But 15 is still a lot for a guy. I don't know what Diontae Johnson did for me. I think early in the year he spiked. Late in the year he obviously nosedived. I think he just had another year where he didn't show progress and he didn't fall back. He just is what he is.
I've tried very hard and maybe too hard to avoid the recency bias of the drops and the big moments and look at the entire body of work for Diontae Johnson, which included a lot of games where he was the guy, he was the target, he was the man who got open, took the ball in some cases, ran with it, and still has that big play ability, I think, inside there. But it's hard not to. You can't not get over or you can't get over the drops. I guess I should say